We need to understand what we are trying to achieve from this debate today. We want to achieve better rights, better living standards, and better working conditions for this workforce of the certain organizations, right? So it's very sad to see when even till the third speaker of the team, we have to clarify on the definitions of the motion, right? So let's face it, right? When you say only, it does mean only, right? It does mean that you're talking about the one entity that is most important, right? And even if we consider that you are talking about it's one of the most important aspects within the other aspects, we tell you even then it's not true, because we talked about other infrastructures, other entities that exist within the organizations, within government, that are more important, right? They also questioned what our standpoint is within the debate, right? We talked about how companies need to work within the infrastructure of the HR departments of the company, right? We also talked about how government is a better entity because it has more accountability that these sort of trade unions lack, right? So we talked about how these avenues are better in general. They also talked about how because of trade unions you get to sue when you get exploited, right? We tell you that is not true, because first of all you can sue anyone you want without being under the umbrella of a certain trade union, and even so we believe that we tell you it's more harmful when you're under the umbrella of those trade unions, when it's politicized, so you will be influenced to not sue a person even you are exploited, even when you're violated, right? We also talked about that this kind of work environment is better ensured when there is a better HR department which ensures the behavior of your company, right? Behavior of your employees. We need to also understand that they try to justify this trade unions by saying how it's government approved, right? How they take part in international events and treaties and whatnot. We tell you that yes, you talk about stats, right? We tell you we can give you better stats. We can tell you that yes, we can tell you that how in the United States of America, how in the United Kingdom, they are downsizing their trade unions, right? Because the focus has shifted right now, and the focus has been more onto those HR departments of these companies, right? So they also talked about how the collective bargaining increases because of the trade unions, right? We showed you how this bargaining power only increases in terms of wages, right? And how that's harmful as well, and that creates backlash in the economy somewhere down the line. You also need to understand how they totally avoided the argument of accidents, right? We tell you even in those situations, employees need better protection, right? Employees need more help from these avenues which the trade unions lack because they are heavily politicized and they are under influence, right? And they have totally failed in these sort of situations. They also need to understand that they also try to show us that trade unions provide better check and balance, right? But none of them were able to give us any justification how beyond having all those politicization and influence, they are the best avenue to provide check and balance in this work conditions, right? So that is something that has been unengaged. So what have we talked to you about? We have talked about how in this how we can provide better check and balance through developing a better HR unit, right? Who works for everyone, who provides a 360 benefit for all the employees of your organization based on merit, right? We talked about how trade union leaders do not stand up for issues because of this kind of influence. We talked about how the economy has certain backlashes on the economy because of this unnatural salary increases and how it affects, right? But most important of all, we talked about how right now the companies have a better incentive, right? They have their public image to cater to, right? They have they have these international contracts, right? For all these reasons, the company itself they try to protect their employees and their rights and their working conditions, right? Because other than that, we gave you examples of Nike and other organizations who lose out on international contracts. We also need to understand how the workers themselves and the people themselves has lose their faith on these trade unions basically because they work on the basis of blackmail, right? They create disruptions, they create violence, and on the basis of that they try to get benefits, right? The benefits that only cater to the member of those trade unions, right? So even then, those benefits do not trickle down to all the employees of the organizations because of this segregation within the trade unions. So we tell you the only way you can provide better better solutions, and that gets trickled down to all the aspects of the company, of the all the workers of the company, is through an HR department, and not and we tell you that trade unions do not work and they have failed, right? And that is why we should win this case. Thank you.